successes of their artistic endeavours. And Maria Malarkey recently went to Dingle in County Kerry to meet a woman whose passion and enthusiasm for blacksmithing has endured for more than 30 years.
Mary Jane Vernier was born in Yonkers, New York. She began working with metal in 1977 and served an apprenticeship with a master blacksmith in America. Following a holiday to Ireland in 1998, she fell in love with the country, and in particular County Kerry. In the year 2000, she decided to move to Dingle.
When I moved here and looked to settle down, one of the real challenges was finding a place where I wanted to work at home, because I've been self-employed and worked from home my whole life. So finding a place with a shed, fortunately, it wasn't that hard. There's no shortage of sheds around the place, And I was very lucky. I think I found a place that is in a really beautiful, remote spot, yet it's close enough to everything that I need. So I have the peace and the tranquility and the solitude to really focus on what I'm doing, and a lovely little forge to do it in. In the beginning, being a woman blacksmith was a lot more difficult than it is now, because that was over 30 years ago. And I remember working in a shipyard and spending a lot of time just trying to ignore the comments and the strong language and the provocation, and that it was very good for me, because it taught me, not to really bother about what other people think and not to worry if I have their approval. And now it's quite different. Now, it's a rare person who doesn't say that I don't look like a blacksmith, but that is just sort of a preconceived notion. And in my mind, I think, well, you should see me when I'm hammering. I actually do look like a blacksmith, but, I am just, I think by nature, drawn to old things. When you look at some of the artifacts, for instance, that we have in the National Museum here, and think that people made these 3,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago, and we're now just trying to figure out how they did it and how clever they were. And even with modern techniques, we haven't been able to replicate some of the things they've done. So I love it. I find it very, very interesting. The whole process of working with hot metal is fascinating. It's one of those things you either love it or it leaves you cold. And it's such metal itself is so strong and unyielding, and when you get it hot and you apply pressure, it becomes plastic. And it's really very dynamic and very exciting. So I think, and that's never died for me. That's still the core of, I think, what interested me to begin with and what keeps me going at it. A lot of what attracts me about this work is just the fact of making things. I'm just somebody who likes to make things with my hands, and the fire is a fascinating aspect of it. It's kind of alchemy, in the sense of taking something solid and making it almost liquid, and the whole plastic, the whole dynamic of the process is very, very engaging. And I also like the physicality of it. I like just, pitting myself against something and winning, I like that about it, and it's fun, when you finally, get some hammer control and you can actually hit it where you want to hit it and make things move. It's actually very exciting, and of course the end result, it's satisfying, no matter what your medium is, to have an idea and to be able to bring it into being out of raw materials is just very satisfying. I think sort of into a person's nature. I kind of go between ironwork and then copper and bronze. I just use traditional smithing techniques, and I do some functional work, but most of what I do is sculptural work, and it's pieces that I make because I want to make them, and I put them in the galleries and let them deal with the marketing aspect of it. Over the period of time that I've been working at this, it's an ongoing process, I have found, and there are always new avenues to pursue, and I'm fascinated with the process itself, with techniques, and with borrowing techniques from other medium and bringing them in, and I have no shortage of ideas and, you know, things that I want to make, and I don't think I'll live long enough to make all of them. I've been a blacksmith for 19 years now, and in the beginning it was tough because I was a woman in a trade that there weren't many women. But times have changed, and it's a joy now, and in fact a lot of people I think are inspired. You know, just the fact that if she could do that, I can do what I want to do, sort of a thing. And I'm excited about what's up in the future and the ideas that I'm working on at the moment for new work, and it's something that I really love to do.
Mary Jane would strike you as the kind of woman who seems to have followed her destiny. She absolutely loves the work that she's doing, and the same can be said of the blacksmiths who are here in Monaghan. For instance, all the way from Chile, Francisco Gazitua. Francisco, you've come all the way from South America, so it must have been important for you to be here.
Yeah, well, you know, it was a very long trip, actually nearly 30 hours. We are at the other end of the earth, but we do forging there as well. And I'm very happy here. It's a friendly country.
How did you start?
Well, I started when I was a kid in a farm in Chile. You know, farms in Chile were very isolated places. You make everything, the wheels of cars and things. And I was a kid, you know, I used to get little pieces of steel and start banging to make knives to carve wood.
And now you are making big public installations,
yes. Well,
in cities like Toronto.
It's absolutely, you know, a follow-up of what I began when I was a small kid. Everybody says, you know, you want to earn your living, you know, please, why do you become an engineer or something? I say, sorry, I love to do this, banging.
And do you earn a good living from blacksmithing?
Yes, you know, I'm doing very well. You know,
you do very well?
Yes, I'm a very well-known public artist.
The fact that artists like Francisco Gavitua have come here to Monaghan is a great show of support and an endorsement of the work being done by the Irish Blacksmithing Association. And another internationally acclaimed artist who's lending his support is Stéphane Chevalier from the south of France. Stéphane, are you impressed?
Yeah, I'm very impressed about this organization and all the work the members of IABA have done to fix it. And it's very nice to be a part of this big event.
I understand that you are well known for mixing traditional techniques and modern techniques.
The modern technique like laser cutting, drawing with computers and stuff like that. And then we finish the work by hand. So it means all the pieces are nearly different, but they're all from the same family. So, and it's still a hand-forged work.
Do you enjoy the physical aspects of the work?
Yeah, that's something interesting. It keeps me alive on a good form.
Yes, you've got a good strong body. How long does it take to get to the level of blacksmithing at which you perform?
Well, at the moment it took me 25 years. Really? But I guess it's like everything. Every day you learn something new, so it's never ending.
Great t-shirt.
I have to say it's been great fun to be here at the very first International Blacksmithing Festival and to see at first hand these craftsmen and women embrace such an ancient tradition and show its value and its beauty in a 21st century context. Hopefully this will lead to more of a revival and the growth of blacksmithing here in this country. Shindera Leshitlor, Bemidarasha Veragedin, Agus Gadishan, on the Hainir Werin, Agus o Valia Muinacoin,